If you are on an accredited employer work visa, you must hear this video out. We will give you options available for your continuous stay. How do you maximize it? What are the options for you coming on the pathway to residence? That's what we will discuss now.
So yeah, we get a lot of questions, and we've got so many accredited employer work visa holders out there who are getting really stressed because they're coming to the end of their maximum continuous stay, whether it be 3 years or 5 years, and they're just wondering what now? How do we get onto a residence pathway? How can we stay on for longer in New Zealand? We have spent so much time and effort and energy into making this move. How can we get the maximum out of this move, either for us or for our families or for our children who have studied here now for a while? They've gotten used to a certain way of studying. Going back to the home country and then getting used to another way of studying is probably not for them. So what next? How can we get on, to what should we now do so that we can have that residence pathway chalked out for us?
And if we talk about specific questions that we always get, one is like, oh, I only have 3 years of my accredited employer work visa. That's the continuous stay I am allowed. How do I extend it to 5 years? Or I had 5 years and I'm using all. So now what next? Or how do I come on a pathway to residence, especially when I'm not getting the salary or my job is not skilled for residence? So these are few questions that we get.
Also, if for accredited employer work visas, whilst a certain unscored NOL occupation is used, whether that actually aligns with a higher skilled position with respect to residence or not is something which is a very, very challenging question, because in residence we all know immigration officers look at those things far more carefully, with far more diligence. Also, accredited employer work visas, you're not required to pay the median wage anymore. So getting to that, bridging that gap between market rate and median wage could be another challenge that you could feel is unsurmountable. But actually, it may not be as challenging as you may think. Of course, you need to have some specialist advice on that, and that is when you know that you can't do this all by yourself, and you need to have a chat with someone.
And specifically, if they have these questions on, I am meeting everything, my ANSCO is skilled and I get the median wage, but how do I get the other points? I don't have the required qualifications, or my occupation doesn't require registration. I'm not getting that high salary. So, what will it take for me to become a resident eventually? Is another question that we usually get.
Also, one more thing would be that, just because I'm on the accredited employer work visa, am I the right person to be the principal applicant for the residence? Or is my partner, who may not be on an accredited employer work visa, may be on an open work visa, but is doing a job which could actually, get you onto a residence pathway? So you see, all options are on the table. And no option should be, sort of negated off the bat. Nothing should be negated, because you don't know which one could actually make that, or be that solution that you're looking for.
And for others who may be on a right pathway to residence, but they need to be here maybe another year before they can apply, and their children have already completed secondary schooling. They are not allowed to be domestic students for tertiary studies. And we get questions from them, we can't afford international fees for our students, for our children. What do we do? How do we get our kids back to school for tertiary studies at a very affordable price? Are there anyone out there giving scholarships for international students where parents are on a pathway to residence, or maybe not, but they want subsidized fees for their kids? And we would definitely we answer this question to our clients all the time. So that's another query that they have a lot.
So, Vandana, there are so many questions. I mean, and there's such a lot of things to unpack for these people. They have invested so much time and energy into this. And I think it would be worthwhile for them to understand what their options are. So, what do you think we can do? I mean, I don't think we can handle all the questions right away.
Yeah, and one plan may not fit everyone, because we need to give them specifics. This may work, probably this may also work, this may not work. So one plan may not fit everyone out there.
So why not have a webinar?
Well, that's a nice idea.
I think we should definitely do one. I'm sure it will be very, very useful for all, all our people out there who are really stuck in this conundrum as to what to do. So let's have that webinar where we can answer all the
When
questions.
do we have it then?
Well, how about 2 weeks from now, 14th March? How does that sound? Are you doing anything this Saturday?
Oh no, 14th Saturday, I can just keep it for the clients. Why not?
Awesome. Then we'll all see you on the 14th March at 5 p.m. New Zealand time, where we'll answer all your questions. So register down. You can see that register link at the bottom of this video. So click on that. Don't wait. Do it right away before all the places are used up. See you then.
See you all.